Yeah, I know that you have wanted to be a writer since age 8. Do I have that right?
Yes. Yeah. Hey, yeah, and 8 years old was probably around the time I started choosing what I read. And I started reading books that my grandma had. She had like a huge collection of books, and there was a lot of Enid Blyton books. And I just remember when I started reading those books, just being so in awe that someone could take you to a completely different world. And it was believable, and it was exciting, and it was thrilling, and you wanted to be in that world. And I remember around that time thinking, this is what I want to do. This I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to create worlds. And I started writing very, very badly, short stories, and forcing my family to read to read it. They were so patient with me.
Well, there's another upside of having community is finding people who love you enough to read your terrible first drafts.
Yes, yeah, and that was my family. Every single time they would read, well, they said they read it, and I believed them.
But you know what? Even if it's not 100% true, the effort to lie still implies love. So,
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
so I know that as you're writing as a child growing up, uh, anybody who listens to this show knows that we've had a whole movement for we need diverse books because books weren't diverse. This is not breaking news, obviously. So how does that impact you, knowing that you're looking around publishing and you're not seeing books that feature characters who look like you or your family? You're not seeing people working in publishing who might have that in common with. How does that impact your view of publishing? And how do you anticipate that it may be changing for the next future author who can look and see your books available?
I mean, it made a huge impact on me because I didn't think my stories would be accepted because my characters didn't look like the characters that were out there. And so I accepted for a very long time that I would just be writing for myself because I didn't see people like me. I didn't read books about people like me. So clearly those books, publishing didn't want those books. So I quite happily read books with people that didn't look like me, and I enjoyed those stories. But I didn't think that my stories would be accepted in that world for a very, very long time. And then when I started to see a few books with characters that looked like me, it was that moment. That's when I decided I would give it a go. I was like, oh, okay, so we're buying books with people that look like me. Now's my opportunity. Let me try, because if I don't try, then I will just regret it. And that's when I started putting my work out.
I know that I had read that you had a career teacher told you that writing wasn't a career and you should rethink your options.
Yes, or career teachers. Yeah, so I don't know if you have this in the US, but in the last couple of years of school, you have a career teacher and you have meetings with them, and they sort of just find out what you want to do in the future and sort of help guide you on where to go next and where to, what subjects to take in college and stuff. And so my meeting with my career teacher, she said, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to be a writer. And she says, that's not a career. Choose another one. Choose a real career. And I just remember my heart sinking, and that sort of oh my gosh, I can't even speak. I hate using big words. That sort of just the thought that I had before, that there were no books with people that looked like me. And then my career teacher telling me that, that wasn't a career for me. And I thought, okay, so that's true then. This is not for me. So I went into admin. I became an administrator, and I worked for charities. I worked for children's charities for a really long time, and just continued writing for myself.
Gotcha. So you're writing that whole time. She discourages you from the idea that this is going to be a career, but like, well, you can't stop me just from enjoying this thing I love.
No, I couldn't stop writing. I wanted to write. It was my love. And I think, that's such an important message, to do what you love. And the way you know that it's something that you love is, could you do it if it wasn't a career, would you continue doing it anyway? And my answer is always yes. That's what I did for years. You know, every spare moment I had, I wrote. You know, I'd come home from my normal job and I would write because I loved writing. I loved how it felt to put these stories down on a page and create these worlds. And that was what I enjoyed. It was good enough for me. So, you know, I just continued doing it.